The battle over tariff refunds is now one of the biggest trade policy fights in Washington. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that President Trump exceeded his authority when he used an emergency law from 1977 to impose sweeping global tariffs. Those tariffs, imposed on nearly all trading partners, were struck down as unconstitutional because only Congress has the power to levy taxes and tariffs. These tariffs had pushed the U.S. average effective tariff rate to nearly 17%, the highest in decades before the ruling. In response, the Trump administration moved fast. Instead of issuing refunds immediately, the Justice Department asked the Federal Appeals Court to delay any refund ruling by at least 90 days. The administration argues it needs time to reconsider how to proceed and potentially appeal or rehear the case. At the same time, Trump has replaced the struck-down emergency tariffs with a temporary global import tariff under Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974. That law allows the president to impose tariffs of up to 15% for a maximum of 150 days without explicit congressional approval. The initial rate being collected is 10%, though Trump has said he wants to raise it to 15%. That matters because even with the new temporary tariffs, research shows the effective tariff rate could rise back toward 13 to 14%, still lower than last year's peak, but higher than the roughly 9% average after the Supreme Court struck down the old tariffs. Meanwhile, more than 1,000 companies have filed lawsuits for refunds of the tariffs they paid before the ruling. That includes major names like FedEx, which is seeking a full refund of duties it paid. Other big businesses are preparing similar cases in the U.S. Court of International Trade, arguing they shouldn't be forced to absorb costs from tariffs found to be illegal. The Supreme Court did not itself order refunds. It sent the case back to the lower courts to figure out how and whether the refund should be issued. That means months, possibly years of litigation. Internationally, some countries that negotiated tariff deals with the U.S. before the ruling are still operating under those agreements for now, because renegotiating trade commitments takes time and political capital. Of course, uncertainty remains. Trading partners are watching how the U.S. handles both refunds and the new temporary tariff structure. In the short term, consumers might see some prices ease slightly as the pre-ruling tariffs disappear, but the temporary tariffs under Section 122 could offset some of those gains. So in all likelihood, price relief will remain limited. You, the consumer, should be able to recognize that the fastest. If your purchasing power has felt like it's dwindled lately, or you see that inflation has become a lot more stark, that should be all the truth that you need. Let me know your thoughts.